All right, guys. So, like I said, I'm going to come back and talk to you a little bit about some of the main issues that were addressed last night in the quote-unquote debate, because it really wasn't much of a debate. It was a bunch of people saying that Donald Trump is horrible and that our country is more divided now than it ever has been, even though we've had a civil war, and I don't think that's going on quite right now, to my understanding. But one of the things that they did talk about a little bit and point some fingers at would be power, right? Nuclear power, specifically saying that that's not a good option, and wind and solar are good options. Now, I'm not sure how you make that comparison. If it's a scare factor, yes, right? I'm not really scared of a wind turbine, and I'm not really scared of solar panels, but those things actually cause more deaths per unit of power output than does nuclear power. And I know a number of you are like, no, wait a minute. I watched Chernobyl on HBO. It was a terrible thing. It was a terrible thing. It was a problem, but it wasn't just a problem with the power. It was a problem with Soviet-controlled Russia. They weren't willing to let the world know that they had failed. They weren't willing to let anybody know that they didn't know what they were doing, because they were trying to push their economy, their social system, their form of government as the very best in the world. The most expertise possible that could be developed on the planet could come from their system, and there's no way a nuclear power plant would have a problem. Well, that led to the problem, right? So if they had handled the issue correctly, they would have known not to hit the button, right? If you guys watched the series, that was one of the big points they said that actually caused the explosion, was them hitting the button, but also doing a test when you're not supposed to. So it was human error that led to this problem. Now, you have to take that into account for future situations. I get it, I understand, but we're learning how to do that as we go. Nuclear power is not nearly as dangerous as people think it is, and it's getting safer and safer and safer by the day. So for a quick example, what if I came to you right now and said, hey, I've got this new technology that I think is going to change the world. I think it's going to allow people to communicate with one another better, because they're going to be able to go and see one another in places that used to take months to get to or weeks. It's now going to take hours. We're going to connect the world in a way with products and services and everything else that you can possibly imagine in ways that you never thought possible. But it's going to cost us 50,000 lives. That's a big number, right? You'd be like, oh my gosh, 50,000 lives are going to be lost in the pursuit of this technology and refining it and perfecting it. That's airline travel, guys. Everybody that you know probably has been on an airplane and flown numerous times in their life. People live their entire life, it seems, traveling for work on airplanes. And it's a great technology that the world has definitely benefited from, but it has cost us lives to get it right. After every single accident, we have a team that goes in and inspects the plane and debris and whatever happened and looks at all of the material to try to find out, how do we make this safer for the next group of people and the next group of people and the next group of people. We didn't run away from it and say no. We said, how do we make it as safe as possible and keep refining and keep refining? That's exactly what they're doing with nuclear power right now. I think there's a movie out there called Pandora's Promise or Pandora's Box that talks a lot about this, so you should go check out. But know this, wind and solar aren't the answer. Nuclear is a great answer. France is doing it. I don't usually support France, but in this case, I guess I have to. They've got it right.